Let me tell you a story. In middle school, I'd say that my class was just all around really good. You had people who did really well. The girls they had really good grades, quite well, just academically. In that period, in math class, usually in the students that really performed really good in maths were just also invited participate in more seminars, in more math class. You got kind of special treatments from teachers. But the catch was that only the very best pupils who scored the best in math tests were offered this kind of service. The all around just environment in the math classes that I had was you got the teachers really appreciated the top students, and more or less if you were just normal or kind of just dumb, you didn't really get good grades in math, you were always just not really worth that much. If you were giving some math presentations would you end up with a grade? The teachers weren't really enthusiastic for you. They kind of just give this very shallow response to the things you were doing, even though the presentation was good and it was not really anything special to pinpoint about. The teachers didn't really give much attention to other classmates. So the environment kind of got very competitive, where the good ones, the academically gifted ones, kind of got all of the prizes, whilst all the others were just not really, they were just always being compared to the best top students, and me being one of them, right? I wasn't like retarded in math. It was always good, but not great. And the same was with kind of the home environment for me as well. Anything less than a B was kind of just punished with bad encouragement. Like, why did you score so low? Or just this constant comparison to other better people than myself with, like, why is it so hard for you to understand? Like, just look at the other kids who are doing better than you. Like, why can't you be more like them? My name is Sivert, and I teach young men and help young men with their self-improvement journey through coaching. If you're interested in that, join the link down below and I'll contact you. When you only give encouragements to children on only good behaviors and not guidance on when they score bad, you really set them up for failure in the future. If they score good, they're safe and they give this kind of positive feeling that they're done great, and they become fearful of failures. You teach them that the only thing that is acceptable is winning. You only care about the end result that they do, not necessarily how they got there. These children who are encouraged in this sort of way will always become perfectionists. It hurts them when they don't get the reaction you give them. And the dangerous thing about that is that when they always just want to please others, they don't really develop their own goals. They don't really develop their own personality. They don't really consider themselves as human beings with their needs. They're just out there to perform and make you happy. The people pleasers they never develop any good habits. They always change their mind about things. They're never certain or committed to one task at a time. They gaslight their own feelings for feeling this certain kind of way when you don't give them permissions to think. And they always just end up apologizing for things, even though they haven't necessarily done anything wrong. They just apologize publicly to others and just show the other people that they're weak. The only results that you get is that you just become this weak, sensitive little man who just deludes himself with the thought that everyone likes him, right? Because he adjusts to everyone he is working with. He thinks that everyone loves him, but absolutely it does not, because he thinks that everyone likes him, but no one really does, because he's simply weak. Strong people can sense it. Evil people just simply exploit you and make you work for them. Most normal people just ignore you because you're not really rememberable. You're not really assertive of any goals. You don't have really any personality. You just roll with whatever the people want to do for you. And women simply just avoid you because you're not assertive, you're not driven to kind of make them happy with you, right? They'll just find some other man who's more committed to their goal and to their work. I've been a perfectionist most of my life, and it has really messed me up in the adult years, the last years that I've had. It feels kind of unfair because you've always worked for other people through the education system. From a very young age, you get applause because you got all the check marks in your book, you scored well on tests, you always just sit in class with your legs crossed and only speak when you're spoken to, kind of like you're a dog. You just lick the boots of others just to please them and make them happy, because that kind of gives you this validation that you are needed and the work you do is great. And the problem stems from when you're done with school, you're done with this kind of weekly presentations, you're done with this kind of grading system. As soon as you move out, when you're an adult and have kind of no one to turn to, no one to really show your results to, the people that you have been pleasing all your life, they simply don't care about you. They ignore you, they don't really respect you because you're simply this weak, low man. It kind of feels just this hollow, unfair feeling because you spent so much energy on other people. As soon as you have got to your goal and you thought everyone likes you, being good at your work is great. Being a perfectionist is terrible. Being good involves that you are consistent with your work that you're doing. You're developing up your skills and you're pursuing your own goals that you have been working on. Being a perfectionist, however, always will take shortcuts to get to the destination as fast as possible, to get shallow responses from people they don't really even care about. They just want the validation that they're needed. As soon as they have to kind of work more to kind of get the long-term goals, they just give up. Because the simple thing is that the work that you're doing is not really giving you the results that you want immediately. You can't get to the gym, you get going and you start doing some progress, but you just see other people lift and you get jealous of them because they're lifting more than you. And you don't really see that you're gaining weight, you're gaining muscle, and it doesn't really feel motivating. For instance, if I were to pick on myself, right? The only reason that I'm really scared about filming YouTube, it just feels uncomfortable, you don't really want to do it, and you're not really assertive on this kind of business, is that I can say different things, right? I can say that my English is no good, I kind of don't get any views, don't get any subscribers. People, and usually my family, just look at my work and they don't really approve of it because they themselves don't see the point of it. The reward isn't instant with this kind of business. It's not like this kind of paper that you get from middle or high school, a test that you studied like 5 days before you got the test. And you cheated on it anyways because only occupied about the results that you get on your papers. A perfectionist takes shortcuts. Perfectionists are traumatized people. You're not good. It's your ego that spikes up when I simply tell you the truth about being a perfectionist and never starting any good goals and starting any good works. You're never happy because you simply have high expectations of yourself and you never want to admit that you're wrong. The simple cure that I've been kind of doing to help me in this kind of situation about being a perfectionist is that you have to pick a better path for yourself, hobbies, and you need to pick on occupation and skills that you yourself choose. That's the one thing that you need to keep in mind. It has to be hobbies or something that you choose yourself. If others choose it for you, it's not going to work because it's not really true to your own character. A skill or a profession that gives you long-term benefits and it aids you to become a better person, and it's simply for your own growth. It's not to get some shallow praise from other people that you don't really care about in the first place, just to kind of show off that you're so good even though you're not. It has to be hobbies that doesn't provide instant gratification, kind of like meditation, YouTube side hustle that I'm doing right now. Second, You must be able to admit that you are weak. Your ego will spike up because you will always dismiss the feeling that you are wrong. No one likes to admit that they're wrong or the path that they're doing is not really a good path. You think you're good. You think you're doing really well. You think you have respect from other people, even though you're not. The only reason why you work so hard is simply to get validation from other people, because you don't really get love from people by other means. And I get it. I've been led astray by this conditioning that you get from other people about you have to work hard to get the results that they want, not necessarily the results that you yourself want. But pleasing others doesn't lead to any kind of happiness. It leads to this kind of anxious, just hollow experience, and you really feel alone when people just simply leave you and you have no one else to kind of dedicate your life for. You'll simply never be happy when you try to be a perfectionist. It hinders your work and it doesn't really feel consistent. You're not working towards a goal that's really important for you. Join my community today. The link is down below. Stay strong, work on, brother.